Starting us off this morning, we got Rihanna taking us under her umbrella. Ella, A. How are you guys doing? Good morning. Good morning. It is Thursday, the 12th of October, at exactly 8:02 a.m. Getting us started off with that throwback for your morning. It's all about the breakfast jam right now. Which girl? Myra Maloba, the African queen. And of course, it's going to be all about just music, more music as the day goes through. Remember, today we also have the vault with myself, Jimmy the Vinica, and Jerome Matagari from about 10 to 12. And then we also have the hookup with Saisa Nabi from about 2 to 5 p.m. Yes, so it's all about music, hip-hop vibes, highlights. And in this hour, we're going to be playing strictly Kenyan music. Now, within the next hour, we're taking your requests. We like to hear from you what you would like to listen to. You control the playlist. You are our bosses. We got you covered. Now, let's take a quick look at the weather this morning as you start off your day. For Nairobi, going into 9 a.m. It's at 20 degrees, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty hot day. So October is coming and going with no signs of rain or El Nino. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. But yeah, that's how it seems to be looking right about now. And for Mombasa, it's at 27 degrees, mostly cloudy, and it looks like it's going to be mostly sunny and cloudy, up highs of 31 degrees later on. And for Kisumu, it's at about 23 degrees, mostly sunny, humidity at 72%, with up to highs of 28 degrees later on today. It's going to be mostly sunny day for Kisumu. But no matter where you are, no matter whether you always have a great day with Icon Radio. Now, take a look at the roads. Traffic has indeed begun in major parts. On Gong Road, it is having pockets of heavy traffic, however, it is moving to Jogoro Road. Also, the build-up has already begun. It's not looking too good over there. If we take a look at Langata Road, traffic also has begun there, pockets of traffic around Ruga Gardens, Monument, and up until Timor. Oh, it's not looking good. And when you get to Nyayo Stadium, it's not looking good at all. For Lusaka Road, traffic has begun there as well. However, it is moving. For Funyala Road, not looking good. It is looking like it is bumper to bumper. If we look at Thika Road, traffic on both sides. It's quite heavy. Around Mulega Square, it is bumper to bumper. Not good at all. Looking at the Westlands area, traffic is moving. I have pockets of traffic here and there, including around Quickmart, Wayaki Way. But however, it's not too bad. It's moving. So if you haven't Chomoka, start planning your roads now. If you have, just tune in to Icon Radio. I got you covered, getting you through your hustle and bustle this morning. We're on www.iconradio.co.ke. YouTube, where we are also live at Icon Radio KE and Icon Radio KE across the board on every platform. You can highlight us on WhatsApp number +254 788 380030. And of course, my personal socials are Nyari Fox on Instagram, Twitter, at Maloba. Follow me, and I'll definitely follow back. So we got our reel of the day. Yesterday we did such a good job, got some good answers, and we're giving you a new one, a very new one today. So the question is, what is more useful when it is broken? What is more useful when it is broken? Send in your answers to +254 788 380030. Also on Icon Radio KE platforms, and we'll sample your answers later as well as give you the answer at the end of the show. So hang tight for that. But now we get into the news. Where? We get into the news. after this, and we'll be having information in regards to what exactly happened with the DCI officer who shot himself yesterday. Keep it here for that and more on the Breakfast Jam.
This is Icon Radio.
mapenzi akanionyesha mfuko. Alisema do ya salon ni thao tu, na kwa mfuko nilikuwa na mbao juu. Alisema naenda PE, akirudi nilimpata akimeza P2. Alikutega, so niko stuck katikati kama stick ya mshikaki. Nampenda huyu mshikaji but kiatu tu ndo najua story. Yani vile mi mchocha nimemflash bahati mbaya juu niko na deni ya boba call him. Yani vile mi ukanyaga matope kabla nifike kwa lami, na ile stress mi upitia kabla nimbongeshe kilami. Yani vile mi mpandisha taxi then enda kudandia gari ya moshi. Yani vile mi umhasilia hadi kiatu yangu naanza kutoa moshi. Yani vile mi muita baby juu najua nikimuita Njeri anaanza geuka L, na hiyo mama zako nimespoil. Yani vile nimetama kali timbango mzageuka sanda. Yani vile yani kani kukopa nimekopa, yani kani kokoka nimekoka, yani kani tisa nimepigana tu nilvisho vigake namba 8, hata usiku nipate menchora 8 toa moja 7. Vile nimesaga mpaka toja nikamdangeti mimi naishigi umoja, nikamwesha mpaka mimi si mwana vioja eti na mahakamani kusolve vitimbi za dunia bila shaka mashtaka. Yani vile tele dunia kasimama tasimama pamoja. Yani vile kama penzi ni nywele basi nimemsetia nati. Yani vile kama penzi ni kikozi basi bila shaka niko na TB, niko na fever jona niumiza. Yani vile kama penzi ni mistari basi nimemwandikia sentensi matenzi mpenzi na kuenzi vishenzi. Niko cheesy crazy mwizi au mapenzi funge I'm guilty. You have to testify.
Whatever you want to find out, ask my shoe to tell you everything. Absolutely love that jam. It just is a depiction of just how we Kenyans use our Kenyan isms. It just describes to you exactly what we're feeling. That was Heart the Band playing right here on the Breakfast Jam, and all of that Kenyan music on this Kenyan hour. And now we get into the news real quick as we check out what's been going on across Kenya. Now, there has been a fatality at the DCI, and new details of a detective who shot himself to death have now emerged. Now, new details have emerged of Corporal Linus Mutunga, a 59-year-old detective attached to the DCI, who died by suicide after shooting himself at the agency's headquarters along Kiambu Road on Wednesday. According to reports, the officer, a driver attached to the DCI operations department, was set to retire at the end of the year. The officer is said to have left the office in the morning hours after reporting for duty and walked to the car park, not showing any signs of distress. The officer parked his car at the car wash next to the forensic lab gate at the DCI headquarters. He locked the car before shooting himself in the head. Now, people close and around the DCI headquarters were alerted by the sound of a gunshot at the operations section. They rushed to the scene and found Mutunga's lifeless body inside the car. He did not leave behind any notes and had not spoken to anyone about the circumstances that pushed him to end his own life. The motive still remains unclear, but the detectives have commenced investigations into the matter. DCI detectives are trying to establish whether his duties at the operations section were linked to his death. Now, cases of suicide has been on the rise within security forces, indicating the challenges faced by law enforcement officers in high demanding environments. The latest data from the National Police Service Commission shows that 1 out of every 10 police officers experience mental health issues. There have been a lot of instances of cops, of course, taking their lives going into depression. Remember that police officer who were walking around touching a gun, I think around sometime last year, along Jogoo Road, and you could tell he was deeply disturbed. And there could just be a myriad of things they could be going through that could be taking them through this. Again, we are going through the mental health, 21 days of mental health we do always encourage you to reach out to someone in case you are going through troubling thoughts, troubling times. There are toll-free numbers from the Red Cross, from Nisikize, Usikinya, and Mambo Akili, which will be put into our socials as we continue on with the month. Please do not suffer in silence. Let someone know. Moving away from that, we do have the school book that has caused an uproar within the Muslim community, and now they've been forced to withdraw the school books over Prophet Muhammad's image. Now, a Kenyan publisher was withdrawn, or rather has withdrawn, a school book from the market, following uproar from Muslims who complained about a drawing depicting Prophet Muhammad. Now, Muslim faithful in various communications to the company had expressed their outrage, holding that it is blasphemous to draw the Prophet and ask people to color the sketch. In a statement, the publisher expressed its remorse over the grave mistake and recalled the book on Islamic studies for pupils in the second year of primary school. The publisher, in his statement, said that the image had been inserted in the book by mistake and apologized to the Muslim community for the error. They said, "We sincerely and wholeheartedly apologize for the error and commit to ensure that such an error will never be repeated." Now, this is usually acceptable, okay, within the Christian community, but you cannot apply it everywhere. We do have coloring books where we do encourage the kids to know the story of Christ as they color, and as they get to learn the stories through one or another. But clearly, it doesn't apply for everyone. And Mombasa Muslim scholar Sheikh Rishad, who had described the image as dangerous, welcomed the move, saying it's a step in the right direction, but urged publishers to consult Muslim leaders in future to avoid such mishaps. Clearly, there needs consultation. Just anything religious, I think, to be honest. Anything that has to do with someone's beliefs, religion, you really do need to be able to consult. Your knowledge and say, it's universal. No, nothing is universal. You have to be able to at least let other people know this is what you're intending to do. Does it work? Lesson learned. Now, before we go on the break, we're looking at Kenya being one of the most expensive African cities. It has been described for the super rich. Must be nice. Now, the Sentinel report 2023 by Henley and Partners has ranked Nairobi as one of the most expensive cities in Africa. In the report that was released on Monday, Nairobi was ranked 10th, tying with Casablanca in Morocco and Cairo in Egypt. According to the report, the three cities charge upwards of USD 1,200. That's about 178,000 per square meter of rental space. This represents the average cost of a prime 200 to 400 square meter apartment in the capital. Leading the pack in Africa were Cape Town, Hermanus, and Plettenberg Bay, all from South Africa. South Africa had a total of 5 cities that dominated the top 10 most expensive cities in Africa, according to the Centi Millionaire report. Other cities in South Africa that made the cut were Ulanga, which was ranked 5th, and Central Sandrine, which was ranked 6th. Morocco also dominated the list of the most expensive cities on the continent, with Marrakesh ranked 4th and Tangier ranked 7th. Only Nairobi made the list in the East and Central African regions. Additionally, there were no Western African cities that made it to the top 10. Now, universally, Monaco in France was ranked the most expensive city on earth, with people paying 5.2 million per square meter. Now, this is being determined by real estate, clearly. And you know real estate in Kenya is way too expensive. Even by the time you're taking a mortgage monthly, you figured out, okay, should I live here or on my free land in Chicago? Because per square meter, you're paying 178,000. Okay? So yes, it has been here for the rich. Again, must be nice. And then let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll be looking at more news, making the headlines this morning. And it's actually good news across the board. So stand by for that. We do need a bit of good news here and there. Of course, we do have our riddle that asks, what is more useful when it is broken? What is more useful when it is broken? Let me know your answers, of course, on our WhatsApp number +254 788 380030, and continue to sample them as the morning goes on.
This is Icon Radio.
You are indeed tuned into the Breakfast Jam. Yes, Logombas with... What's the name? Keep getting brain fart. What? Don't say yes. I actually had it. This is doubting myself. I don't know why. But yes, we also had Wagirai with Mr. Googs, with Googs and Vinny Button and Saleni. And we continue to again observe 21 days of mental health. Mr. Lenny put out a picture of him and his dad yesterday. It was really touching to see the vulnerability and honesty in it. He basically said that forgiveness is something that people should be able to attain. So from that particular statement, I think he was alluding to the fact that him and his dad went through a lot. Yeah, this is my interpretation. Him and his dad went through a lot. They were not probably speaking to each other for some time. And now they're in a space where they're able to be in a good space together. So it was really touching to see him and his dad with the word forgiveness. The word forgiveness. A lot of us, or a lot of, maybe not put myself in the bracket, but a lot of people have grown up with a lot of resentment for their parents, have concerned with their parents, haven't spent time with their parents for the longest time because of one thing or another. When we finish up with the news, we're going to be delving more into that topic, and just getting into it just a little bit, and speaking about what the expectations are of a child towards their parent and a parent towards their child, and vice versa. But for Mr. Lenny, he put out a picture and said, father and son is a lot to say on these photos, which I will tell in the near future. It has been a long journey of ups and downs, but today we're here to celebrate life. Forgiveness is key. If you want to live a happy and fulfilling life, forgiveness is key. One love. I'll be there waiting. I'll be camping on the space to get that story because it looks like it's going to be a pretty interesting one. And of course, again, like I told you, a lot of people who are going through that phase in their life where they're like, okay, listen, it's time to put the hurt away. It's time to put the anger away. And it's time to just get together with your family and just bury the hatchet. Again, we're going to be getting that just a little bit. For now, we'll finish up the news, the headlines this morning. Now, Governor Irungu Kangata launches youth jobs with part salary payments to parents. Absolutely good news. I love that. Now, Muranga Governor has launched a replica of President Uhuru Kenyatta's Kazi Mtaani initiative, which will see youth be employed by the county government to clean towns. Now the Muranga Youth Service will see young people be paid 400 per day to complement the job done by county workers, which is almost similar scheme to the defunct Kazi Mtaani. Of the 400, Kangata will pay 100 to the youth parents' accounts, leaving the workers with 300 bob. While explaining the vision of his program on Tuesday, Kangata remarked that it would create short-term opportunities for jobless youth. Additionally, the program would enhance environment management. In the long term, Kangata envisions equipping youth with trade skills as well as seed capital provision so that they can start their own entrepreneurial ventures. I absolutely love that. A cleaner environment, youth of the streets getting paid. It's absolutely amazing, absolutely admirable. I hope a lot of other governors and governments take up this cause because we do need a clean environment, guys. It's way too nasty out there. And again, I think I've talked about it. We talked about it with our guest who was here about waste management. What it can do to actually create jobs while cleaning up our environment. Best way to make use of our workers out there. And a lot of people are going to see themselves without jobs at the end of this year. So, of course, finding new ways to get them fed, get them employed, will have to come up. And I think waste management is one of the key, major, and amazing ways that are being employed by a lot of not only Kenyan, but African governments. Kudos. Kangata, for the job you're doing. It's absolutely admirable. Now, more good news as Kenya Inc.'s deal with China, and what does it mean for us? Now, the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry has opened a new branch in Changsha, China, aimed at fostering trade and investment between the two countries. Speaking during a meeting in Nairobi on Wednesday, the CEO, Patrick Nyangweso, said the new branch will help promote collaboration, facilitate business partnerships, and display Kenyan products and services in the vibrant Chinese market. Echoing the CEO's sentiments, Dr. Eric Ruto, the chamber president, said that the expansion into China is strategic and will advance cooperation between Kenya and one of the world's largest countries. Now, we attended last week a discussion between the Kenya and Nigeria trade, and it brought to the fore a lot of course, fears, stereotypes, challenges, and of course opportunities between the two countries. If we foster more trade opportunities between more countries, I think we'll be seeing a better economic future for Kenya. And that's again through fostering trade with others. So I'm really looking forward to this, looking forward to also the trade between Kenya and Nigeria, just to see what it can bring out and how we can enhance each other's business, commerce, and of course travel, tourism opportunities. It's just a lot that can happen between two countries. So really looking forward to that. Good news as well on that. And finally, we do have our very own Faith Kipyegon, who has been nominated for World Athletics Female Athlete of the Year award. Now, this is how it went down and how you can vote. Now, prolific Kenyan athlete Faith Kipyegon, who broke the world record and won 2 world titles in 2023, has been nominated for the World Athletics Female Athlete of the Year award. Kipyegon has been nominated for the award based on her exploits over the course of the year, including breaking world records in 1500 meter and 500 meter races. During the year, she also became the first woman to win titles at both 1500 meter and 5000 meter races in a single world championship competition. Now, Tix Asefa and Gudaf Segai, both Ethiopians, have also been nominated alongside Kipyegon. Now, how are you able to vote? Now, according to the World Athletics and the World Athletics Council, and the World Athletics family will cast their votes by email, while fans will cast their votes online through World Athletics social media platforms. The World Athletics Council holds a 50% stake in the final result. The remaining 50% split evenly between the votes from the World Athletics family and the public. Voting is underway and will continue until October 28th, 2023. So guys, go out there and vote. Vote. Go to the social media platform for the World Athletics, and let's vote for Faith Kipyegon. Let's vote for our own. Let's continue together to win. Of course, when she wins, Kenya wins. Guys, that is a roundup of the news this morning. Let's get back into the music as we continue to show love for the 254. When we come up, we'll be getting into our adulting topic of the day. That is, again, finding healthy ways to forgive and forget with your parents. Keep it right here on the Breakfast Jam. Una maswali mingi. Kwani we ni polisi? I absolutely love that song by DNA. Maswali za polisi. Maswali za clinic. Yeah, stop. Stop with the too many questioning. Alright. This is the Breakfast Jam. I've got Myra Maloba, Afro-Punk Queen. We are a few minutes in to the top of the hour. Of course, we are going to be giving you what we're going to be discussing within the next hour, and which is forgiveness. Forgiveness between parents and their children. Okay? Have you ever gotten to that point where you have stopped talking to your parents for one reason or another? They have hurt you, they've hurt you deeply, and you do not know how to look at them in the same way. You don't know how to relate to them in the same way. You want to have that fatherly, motherly figure, but they've hurt you too deeply. Now yesterday, Mr. Lenny, remember Mr. Lenny, famous for a lot of music in the 90s and the early 2000s, came out about his relationship with his dad, and actually talked about their journey towards finding forgiveness, which is amazing to see, because not a lot of people can be that vulnerable and talk about what they're feeling or what they've been going through with their parents. And when he put up the statement, he showed exactly that vulnerability. And in that statement, he said, which he had put up a picture and said, "Father and son, there's a lot to say in these photos, which I will tell in the near future. It's been a long journey of ups and downs, but today we're here to celebrate life. Forgiveness is key if you want to live a happy and fulfilling life. Forgiveness is key." Definitely a mantra worth going through. I would love to hear from you as we go into this topic. Have you ever been in a situation with your parents that you feel is unforgivable? Did you finally find forgiveness? What were the expectations that you had for your parents, and what expectations did your parents have for you? Let's get into it in the next hour, but now we get into the news. When we come back, we'll be delving into Adulting Thursdays.
Aneno nyako moro kae nyinge nga Atoti. To bendo nyalo mielo ngoma nyinge nga Atoti. To be onyalo miel koda nyinge nga Atoti. Atoti sudi kai mondi miel koda. Yawa Atoti sudi kai monda miel kodi. Atoti lovely deadly nyakoni. Iromo wiya. Atoti kiss me nyakoni. Iromo miel. Atoti mix me fix me nyakoni. Iromo pacha. Atoti take me nyakoni. Iromo miel. Sudi miel koda. Kiki tumwe. Kiki tuom chonga. Kika nyon tiendi. Omio watere mana mos mdogo nyako miel vile tunataka raka pinyi malu yengo ga Atoti nyono ga mosurundo ga Atoti yengo ga mosu winyo ga nango Atoti weko ga mosu tero ga This way that way nyako do it my way Atota ngoma timi Atoti thumweri To wiki mosh bende mari To maji bende duari Atoti tinde kilari Nikech maen mi very good. Atotio, the only face in Lex Victoria. Atotango, the only female on my email. Atotio, your name is my screensaver. Atotango, the only female money give flavor.
Hujambo na karibu katika taarifa za saa tatu kwa ufupi. Langu jina ni Lilian Wangari. Mabaunsa wa vilabu maarufu katikati mwa jiji la Nairobi wanalalamika kuhangaishwa na wanafunzi wakorofi wa vyuo vikuu. Ripoti za kuaminika zinaonyesha baadhi ya wanafunzi ambao ndio viongozi wa kesho wamejiingiza kwenye wizi wa simu na mikoba ya wateja vilabuni. Aidha, wanafunzi wa kike wanakaa kilabuni usiku kucha wakiomba pombe za bwerere, kurushiana matusi na kupigania wanaume almaarufu wa babas. Asilimia yao kubwa inajumuisha mabinti kati ya miaka 19 hadi 24 hivi ambao ni mara yao ya kwanza kuishi Nairobi. Watalii wanaozuru Kenya na kupiga picha vivutio vya kitalii wakiwemo watu kutoka kwa jamii ya Wamasai sasa watalazimika kulipia picha hizo kwa sarafu ya dola ya Amerika. Kulingana na waziri wa utumishi wa umma na usimamizi wa utekelezaji wa majukumu ya serikali Moses Kuria, hii ni sehemu ya mpango wa kuiwezesha serikali kufaidi kutokana na turathi zake na amali za kitamaduni. Akizungumza katika ukumbi wa Bomas of Kenya mnamo Jumanne wakati wa shughuli hiyo. Runinga ya Citizen iliweza kufanya ufichuzi jinsi baadhi ya Wakenya wakazi wa Moyale, kaunti ya Marsabit, kaskazini mwa Kenya, wanavyofaidi pakubwa kutokana na petroli inayoingizwa nchini kwa njia ya magendo kutoka nchi jirani ya Ethiopia. Kwa mujibu wa makala hayo, petroli hiyo inaingizwa kutoka Ethiopia na kuuzwa vichochoroni kwa wakazi wa mji huo kwa shilingi 150 kwa lita, kinyume na bei inayoratibiwa na EPRA humu nchini ya wastani wa shilingi 220 kwa lita katika kaunti hiyo. Mafuta hayo ya petroli pia yanauzwa kwa chupa za plastiki. Serikali imefichua mpango mpya wa kufuta ushuru wote wa gesi ya kupikia na mitungi, huku kukiwa na uwezekaji wa mabilioni ya shilingi katika sekta hiyo katika juhudi za hivi punde za kuharakisha mpito wa Kenya kwa nishati safi. Gazeti la Business Daily liliweza kuripoti. Kwa mujibu wa gazeti hilo, katika kikao cha baraza la mawaziri mapema Jumanne, kupanda tena kwa bei ya gesi ya kupikia lilikuwa moja ya swala ambalo lilijadiliwa na suluhu kutajwa kuwa ni kufutwa kwa ushuru wote kwa bidhaa hizo. Kufikia hapo ndipo tutakapokamilisha habari za saa 3 asubuhi hapa Icon Radio KE. Jina langu ni Lilian Wangari.
kushiba mzee. Majirani visita grandpa kama kawa. Hivyo ndo kunaendanga, hivyo ndo kunaendanga, hivyo ndo kunaendanga, hivyo ndo kunaendanga, hivyo ndo kunaendanga. Majirani hapa hivyo ndo kunaendanga. Je, ushalala usiku jokota umekufa kwa mkasubui gava imekusu nja ukastuko kadai akimbona lakini hapana jali. Hivyo ndio kunaendana. Mkanuki msupa jone nanga kanisa ukaharakisha kumoa kumbe ni merimela. So unapiga nduru jishapotezanga hela lakini hapana jali. Hivyo ndio kunaendana. Uliepa sistangu kadai amechapa kuhamia Nairobi kwa kahaba. Kuharibia kwanza ilikuanga Wanyeri mwanaume unachapwa. Hivyo ndio kunaendana. Si dunda 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 na ye. Hivyo ndio kunaendana. Dunda 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 na ye. Hivyo ndio kunaendana. 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 Mambo msupa hivyo ndo unaanzanga, and then machupa hizo zinamuwezanga. Kabla ukute kitu ushableki ushalala, hivyo ndio unatuangushanga. Nafanya mademo kamrezi mimi nikiendaga the teacher. So vijana mukaerada achana cham kumi utaonaga. Sana utaimanga dem ocha umempatanga. Unadhani yeye ni fala hata tanga after masiku wakimuitanga. Hivyo ndivyo anaitikanga. Na kiwa mbali apigi simu ni please call me. Hey, hivyo ndio amezoeanga. Na nikiteko hala back speed masaa. Hivyo ndo credo ilikatikana. Hivyo ndo kunaendanga. 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 Okay. Hivyo ndo kunaendanga. Hivyo ndo mimi nachekanga. Hivyo ndo wananitanga. Kitambi na papa sanga kasupu na sembe. Hivyo ndo mimi nakunjanga. Wakati nilikuwa down kwanza uko town walinisho madarau mafala hao niliachana nao wakaenda zao na hivyo ndo waliendanga. Vera sidika wengi wamekusakanga. Siko baya ni vile bolingo zako zimetushika. Alafu hujazifitanga. Hivyo ndo wanaotanga nipete naye na hivyo ndo tuliendanga. Hivyo ndo kunaendanga. 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 Hivyo ndo kunaendanga.
It's all about that throwback therapy on the Breakfast Jam. I'm your girl, Myra Maloba, the Afro-Punk Queen. And of course, we're getting into that adulting crisis conversations. And of course, it's all about our parents. We've been going through that series. The conversation have been heavily leaning towards that. Like I mentioned before, Ms. Lenny put out a statement and talked about how forgiveness was key between him and his dad. Put it as a strong worded statement, a strong imagery of him and his dad and how they finally found forgiveness with each other. And he says one day he's going to be able to tell that story, and I can't wait to hear that. Now, another thing I came across yesterday on social media platform X was a young lady who put out screenshots between her and her dad. Now, this conversation revolved around her and how she needed to pay her bills and edge not even a living, a way for her to be able to pay for her rent and electricity and water and everything that she needs to be able to get by day to day. Now, she gave a little bit of context, okay? At first, she put out the screenshots, guys started commenting. Then she was like, yeah, I had a job. I just graduated as a lawyer, and I was getting into the industry, and my first job was only paying me 20K. Now, according to her statement, her and her dad and her uncle had conversations about it, and her uncle and her dad convinced her to quit her job on the guise, or rather on the notion that they'll be able to support her. So a few months down the line, they have an exchange, and he's like, listen, I gotta pay my workers, I can't be taking care of you, things are thick, the world is going through it, and I can't believe you're at home at 1:39 asking me for money instead of working like everybody else. And she's shocked. She's like, how is it that my dad can now tell me that I need to be working, that I'm lazy, and yet she's the one who convinced me to quit my job without any surefire plan of moving forward? Now, who is to blame in this situation? Because this looks like it's going to be a very heavy rivalry between the two. And the fact that she took it to social media, of course now she's gotten to her wits' end. She's like, I can't take this anymore. I'll end up homeless. I'll end up on the streets. I don't know how to go back home. I don't know how to go back to my parents. And so the same guys who encouraged me to quit my job. Now, there are a lot of instances like these that lead to a lot of conflict between parents and their children, and vice versa. There are parents who encourage you and say, no, I got you, I got this. You do this, take this position in life, take this career in life, go in this direction, and we got you covered. And then things just flip all of a sudden. People don't understand why the dynamics have changed, what's going on, and then that resentment builds, and then it builds, and then it builds, and it builds. And then a lot of families go through it even till today. One international example, Black China with her mom. Highly publicized dispute. They take everything that they dispute about to social media. And it looks like just the other day they found forgiveness with each other. Now, the question is, what is your expectations with your parents? What do you expect of them? And what have they told you that they expect of you, whether it's in marriage, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your studies, whether it's in, how to choose your life, how to live your life rather. What are the expectations you've exchanged with each other, and where has it led to the point of conflict? Where has it led to the point of I do not look at my parents the same way, or you as a parent do not look at my child in the same way? And if you found forgiveness, how did you find it? Let's get into it. Let's get into the conversation on +254 788 38 0030 on these Adulting Thursdays. I've been at that point before. It has been crazy, even with siblings, but we're talking about parents today. How do you get past those familial places of heartbreak and pain to be able to now get back to a place of healing? Let's talk about it. For now, we'll get back into music. When we come back, we'll be looking a little bit into the international and local entertainment news. And we'll also be sampling some of what you have to say on this right after this.
Man, I'm better than most. I'm better than them. I'm better than. Straight, check it. I'm better than most. This song make the girl them wine and tear them blows. I'm better than most. Girl them semi fine and them wine from the rhymes. I'm better than most. This song make the girl them wine and tear them blows. I'm better than most. Girl them semi fine and them wine from the rhymes. I'm better than the wall of them. Better than the ballers. I'm better than the wall of them. When them see me sleep, man, I shine than the wall of them. Learn something. amsha hizo mpacha
Swing, swing, muziki ni bomba. Talanta sindumba. Rafiki acha kusumba.
tata amsha.
Now, yesterday, the news was absolutely rife. Rumor mills were going crazy. Guys were over here chattering away on social media as the Smiths are back with just another story to make the headlines. Now, Jada Pinkett, if you didn't know, she removed a book of her own. And it's the first time she's coming out as an author. It's a tell-all book. Just about her life, what she's gone through, laying all the rumors to rest. And boy, is she talking. The woman is talking. Now, the book was premiered last week. With of course, the Smiths putting out a really good show. Everybody looking at the book, being excited. They did this whole video reveal thing. The whole family was together, the son, the daughter, the grandmother. And they're all looking forward to her new book. And the book is called Worthy. Okay. It's indicative a lot about, I think, just her journey. And now she's of course going to the press and, kind of like just giving us a tea, a little bit about her book. Now one thing that she revealed during her press tour was the fact that she and Will Smith separated in 2016. Now, realize all these years that we've seen solidarity together, the slap, red table talk, where they talk about the entanglement, all of that was when they were well on their way to divorce. Now, since 2016, they say they haven't got to the point of divorce yet because they probably don't want to get there. They're still trying to find a way to work around it, to work together. But since 2016, they separated. Since 2016, they have not lived together, okay, as a couple, since 2016. So everything we've been seeing of them together has not been as a married couple. Yes, they're a married couple on paper, but not in union, not in emotions, not in living together, not in any sense of the word. And people are shocked. Guys are like, how? How do you guys manage all this time to be somehow together, not together? And, kind of like just, going, still doing life together. It's been amazing. So even when we were all hating on Jada and August Alsina's relationship and Will Smith, nearly crying at the red table, of course, he's still a man who's married to his wife, but they were not. They were separated. Because it happened in 2018 and then it came out, I think, in 2020. So just a lot of questions are being raised. And it just, the question is it a real situation? Is it a toxic situation? It's just weird. Absolutely weird. A lot of questions are being raised as to what could be happening here. Of course, she continues to give out a lot more information. She says that actually in between the process of her trying to go through the separation with Will Smith, and information was coming out that they were about to get divorced, that Chris Rock, the Chris Rock who was slapped, asked her out on a date. Okay. Now she gives a first-hand account of what exactly happened. And she says, well, looking back at the moment, Jada mentions how Chris once asked her out on a date. Now, a bold move that Jada possibly mentioned to her husband Will, she explained to people that it happened years ago when false rumors started coming out that she and Will were getting a divorce. She said that I think every summer all the reports would come out that me and Will were getting a divorce, and this particular summer, Chris, he thought that we were getting a divorce. So he called me, and basically he was like, I'd love to take you out. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, aren't you and Will getting a divorce? And I was like, no, Chris, those are just rumors. He was appalled and he profusely apologized, and that was that. The tea is teeing, the tea is being spilled, and she is not holding back. And yet again, it just brings again Will Smith into just this whole barrage of questions where he has to explain himself. He has to again explain the situation between this entanglement with August Alsina, his feelings again with regarding Jada and Tupac and the relationship, and if they did have a relationship and what he felt towards that. Like he had to again answer himself in regards to Jada. And a lot of people in Hollywood just think Jada is toxic, okay? That she's a person who has led him astray, led him into the pits of hell, and that she is the worst person to be with. This has been said by Funk Master Flex. It's been said by Chris Rock himself. It's been said by a whole bunch of people who think that Jada Pinkett is just toxic. What an interesting turn of events. All of us were just picking our jaws off of the floor yesterday as this news came out. And we should be telling more as time goes on, and we'll be getting more into their relationship and finding out what exactly happened. But these guys have been separated for 7 years. 7 years, guys. 7 years. Okay, so give us your thoughts on this. On +254-788-888 0030. Let's chop it up. Let's get back into the business. When we come back, we'll be looking at exactly how you can find that place of forgiveness with your parents as we finish off on Adulting Thursdays. amazing Kenyan music playing right here. I wish you love the 254 on the Breakfast Jam. I'm your girl, Myra Maloba, the African Queen. Now, we were looking about our topic for the day, and it was actually around finding forgiveness in family. So it's either forgiveness of parents towards the child or child towards the parent. There's usually a lot of family conflict that never really comes out a lot of the times, that people hide. They've gone through scars, through trauma. And that's both parents and child, because there's always that expectation. First of all, there's the expectation of you as the child, that the parent will always be there for you. They'll always provide for you. Anything happens, you always have a home. And for the parents, they always think, okay, I will take care of my child. I will make sure I give them the best life. They will take care of me when I'm nearing my end. It's always, that kind of expectation between parents and their children. But of course, there's always that resentment mostly from the children towards their parents, because they think highly of their parents, and sometimes when things don't go their way, they feel let down. Now, forgiving our parents is a core task of adulthood, and one of the most crucial kinds of forgiveness. We see our parents in our mates, in our friends, in our bosses, even in our children. And when we've felt rejected by a parent and have remained in that state, we inevitably feel rejected by those important to others as well. But letting our parents off the hook is the first step towards happiness, self-acceptance, and maturity. Now, there are ways of finding healing. One of them is resolving resentment. Now, that's resentment towards the parent does more than keep that parent in the doghouse. We get stuck there too forever. The child, the victim, the have-not in the realm of love. Now, strange as it may seem, a grudge is a kind of clinging, a way of not separating. And when we hold a grudge against a parent, we are clinging not just the parent, but more specifically the bad part of the parent. But if you look at it differently, we should be able to move past that. We don't want our lives, or rather, we don't live our lives until we have this resolved and feel security of the unconditional love. So we do so for good reasons, psychologically, but the result is just the opposite. We stay locked in the badness and we don't grow up. In other words, it's time to let go of the resentment. It's time to, like they said, grow up. Grow up past the hurt, past the anger, and just live and let live. Yeah. The funny thing is, there's some of our parents still now who are finding their forgiveness with their parents, your grandparents, okay? Or your great-grandparents. They're trying to find that resolve. They're trying to find that peace so that they're able to move on in their lives. Because let me tell you, when you hold on to that resentment, it's kind of like stunted growth. You're not able to progress in life. You're stuck in a place where you were maybe when you were at 16. You're stuck at that 16-year-old, you're stuck at that 18-year-old, and you don't know how to grow up, you don't know how to move past. It's good just let go of that resentment, okay? I remember I was always in conflict with my parents when I was at home. I was the only child who was left, everybody had left. And of course, there's always that thing of, you're the person who's left, so everything is being piled on you. But finally, when I moved out and moved on in my life, we found peace with each other. We found that there was less conflict. We were able to communicate, not talk at each other, but communicate with each other. And I was able to let go of whatever hurt, or rather not let go, find a little bit more peace, and just be able to have more constructive conversations with my parents, because I was away from that situation. The other thing is to develop realistic expectations. Develop realistic expectations. Now we expect the world of our parents. We do not wish to lower our expectations. Now we hold out the hope of unconsciously that they will finally do right by us. We want them to own up to all their mistakes, all their misdeeds. We want them to apologize and to make heartfelt pleas for our forgiveness. Please forgive me for what I did to you as a child. We want our parents to embrace us and tell us that they know we were good children to do and to undo the favoritism they've shown to either our brother or sister, to take back their hurtful criticism, to give us their praise. Now, if you've ever had a parent talk to you about the way you grew up, or if you've ever confronted them and asked them, why did this happen? I think their way of saying sorry is, don't dwell in the past. It's an acknowledgement, okay? It's an acknowledgement of sorts, but it's not what you wanted to hear. And they say, don't hold on to the past. Leave whatever happened in the past in the past. Let's move on. I've learned to realize sometimes the parents, that's their way of acknowledging and somehow feeling sorry for what may have happened. If it was not what they thought it was to like, no, that didn't happen, you're exaggerating things. But most often than not, they're like, leave it in the past. Because, of course, they somehow feel bad, they don't want to revisit, and they don't think they were a bad parent towards you. Okay? So just be realistic with your expectations. Don't expect them to come begging on their knees and saying, I'm sorry, forgive me. Find their love language, find their way of how they try to make peace with you and make peace with that. Move on. Try and hold on to the good as well. Most parents love their children with surprisingly few expectations, but no parent is perfect, which means that everyone has childhood wounds. If we're lucky, our parents were good enough for us to be able to hold on to the knowledge of their love for us and our love for them, even in the face of the things they did that hurt us. Our parents always found ways of what they thought was the best for their children, how they expressed their love, what their love language was, whether it was gifting, whether it was taking on trips, whether it was, acknowledging of something good that a child might have done. There's ways that they showed it. It might not be the way that you would have wanted. It might not have been in the way that you would have seen other parents do for their kids. But try just, think about the good days. Think about the happy days, the Christmases, birthdays, the things that they try to do for you that you probably thought was their obligation, but it wasn't. Especially when you become a parent, you begin to realize, yeah, my parents tried. It's not easy being a parent. It is not. I'll tell you that for free. It's not easy being a parent. And when you get to become a parent and realize that your parents did the best that they could, then again you will just let go of these hurtful feelings. Lastly, or rather second last, let your parents back into your heart. When we do that, you can begin to understand the circumstances and limitations they labored under, recognize the goodness in them that our pain has pushed aside. Feel some compassion, perhaps, not only for the hard journey they had, but also for the pain we have caused them. Just like I said, when you grow up, you begin to realize just how human they were, how they labored, how they toiled, how they tried to give you the best life that they thought they could give you. Could have been something that maybe you didn't think was the best. But that was the best by what they were able to do. A lot of us Kenyans grew up in the 80s and the 90s. They grew up in very hard times. Now, if you can relate, things were thick. The economy was bad. People were losing their jobs left, right, and center. It was not the easiest of times. And sometimes we wish we grew up a little bit better. But of course, our parents did the best that they could within the circumstances that were there. So sometimes look at your parents and let them back into your heart. Try to understand them a little bit more. Lastly, commit to the journey. Get to a place of forgiveness. Finding that forgiving self inside us is a long and complicated journey. We have to be ready to forgive. We have to want to forgive. Now, the deeper the wound, the more difficult the process, which makes forgiving parents especially hard. Along the way, we may have to express our protest. We may have to be angry and resentful. And we may have to punish our parents by holding a grudge. But when we get there, when we eventually get there, the forgiveness we achieve will be a forgiveness worth having. I hope you guys have learned something a little bit today, and just purpose to find forgiveness, and with that you find peace. Now, I've got a lot of this gems from Oprah.com. The article is Forgiving Your Parents. Go and take a look at it. Go and find out how exactly you can go about this process of healing, this process of forgiveness, and moving past the wounds and finding your place in a place of healing. Guys, we come to the end of our show at exactly 9:57 a.m. We're going to be coming back, or rather, I'll be coming back just a little bit with the vaults. We do have a few people who commented on today's topics on our YouTube channel. Remember, we are live on youtube.com/@Icon Radio KE. You can always tune in live over there. And we did have Lacey here checking in and saying, Will and Jada are just a mess, and just like Jada thought, so they should just stop talking. Wise, stop talking. What we didn't need to know, just don't tell us. But again, talking is a way of healing. So that's how they find their healing, that's how they're finding a way past hurt. Then, of course, let them just let us into their lives. But hey, now I'm putting you saying, just stop talking. We also have Media Star saying, I'm still finding my way to forgiveness with a lot of my family. So, again, check out that article, find out how, again, you can find your way to forgiveness. And if you ever need to just talk to someone, find a way to relate to somebody in your life, or find a way to just release. You can always holler at us on our WhatsApp number +254-788-3880. Somebody will definitely get back to you. Just don't hold it in. Don't get go to that place of stress. Don't go to that place of no turning back. Don't get to that place where you can't hold on anymore. If you're able to talk, just talk. Let us know. Again, our WhatsApp number is +254-788-3880. If you want to talk to me personally, Myra Fox on Instagram, Twitter, and Maloba, I'll be happy to have the conversation with you. And of course, wherever I can't help, I'll definitely point you in the right direction. Now we're going to finish off with our riddle of the day. What is more useful when it is broken? What is more useful when it is broken? And the answer is an egg. Because if you break it open, you're able to eat it with all its yumminess, with all its yolkiness, and all its goodness. So of course, what is useful when it's broken? It is an egg. Did you get it right? Let us know on any of the Icon Radio KE platforms. But until the next time, that is tomorrow morning, have a great day ahead. See you on the world next, right here at Icon Radio. The number one is Entertainment Blog.